You just spent over $1,000 on the brand new iPhone. The sleek white box is on the table. Your hands shake a little as you pull the tab, slide the lid off, and there it is. The phone you've been dreaming about. You imagine all the things you'll do with it, the incredible photos, the smooth apps, the prestige of owning the latest Apple product. But hold on, something feels off. You dig around inside the box, and then it hits you. No charger. No headphones, just a lonely cable staring back at you. Apple says this is to help the environment. But let's be real, it's about helping their profits. By removing accessories, Apple saves billions of dollars in manufacturing costs and shipping space, while you, the loyal customer, get to spend another $30 for the charger they didn't include. Want AirPods? That'll be another $150. Suddenly, that $1,000 iPhone isn't really $1,000 anymore. It's a starter kit. But here's the crazy part. Apple doesn't even need to justify it. They don't owe you an explanation because they know you'll still buy it. Every single year, people line up outside Apple stores, camping overnight just to get their hands on a device that, let's be honest, isn't that different from the one they already have. We convince ourselves this year's iPhone is special, that it's worth the upgrade. But when you finally turn it on, what do you see? The same icons, the same home screen, the same layout. Maybe the camera is slightly sharper. Maybe the screen is a little brighter. But at the core, it's still the same iPhone. Apple calls it innovation. In reality, it's repackaging the same thing with a new label and a higher price. Let's talk about storage. You thought you were smart by choosing the 128GB model because the 256GB one was too expensive. But fast forward 2 months, you've downloaded some apps, recorded a few 4K videos, taken some pictures, and suddenly you're getting that dreaded storage almost full notification. And what can you do? There's no SD card slot, no way to expand your storage like Android phones used to offer. Your only options are to start deleting memories you actually want to keep or to pay Apple every single month for iCloud storage. And it doesn't stop there. Once you're on iCloud, you're hooked. Your photos, notes, backups, all tied to Apple's servers. Congratulations, you're now renting space for your own data. Want to transfer files to your computer? On Android, it's drag and drop. Plug it in and you're done. On iPhone, you're stuck with iTunes, AirDrop, or iCloud. None of them are as seamless as they should be. AirDrop is useless if the person you want to share with isn't in the Apple ecosystem. iTunes is clunky and outdated. And iCloud, that's just another subscription. Apple has created a system where everything looks smooth and polished, but behind the scenes, it's designed to lock you in and keep you spending. Let's talk about battery life. On day one, it's fantastic. You use your iPhone all day, and the battery still has juice left when you go to bed. But give it a year, maybe 2. Suddenly, that battery health percentage drops. iOS updates magically start draining more power. Apps that used to run smoothly now eat up battery like crazy. Before you know it, you're carrying a charger everywhere. And replacing the battery, Apple makes sure that's not easy. You can't just swap it yourself. They've built the phone in a way that requires special tools and software locks. Sure, they'll replace it for you. Third-party repairs? Apple has spent years making that almost impossible. Try to replace your own screen or battery, and you risk losing features like Face ID because Apple actively discourages non-Apple repairs. And if something else breaks, get ready to empty your wallet. A cracked screen? $300. Water damage? Might as well buy a new phone. Dropped your phone and messed up the back glass? That could be $500 or more to repair because Apple glues everything together in ways that make it almost unfixable. And this isn't an accident. Apple has fought against right-to-repair laws around the world because they want total control. They want you to go to them for everything, no matter how small, so they can keep charging you premium prices long after you've already paid a fortune for the phone itself. Now, let's talk about the infamous Apple ecosystem. This is Apple's greatest trick and their most dangerous trap. Once you buy an iPhone, everything else in your tech life starts to slowly shift towards Apple products. Want seamless messaging? iMessage only really works if you and your friends all have iPhones. Want quick file sharing? AirDrop only works between Apple devices. Want a smartwatch? The Apple Watch only pairs with iPhones. And once you've built up that collection, an iPhone, AirPods, a MacBook, maybe even an iPad, you're stuck. Leaving Apple isn't just switching phones, it's giving up your entire digital lifestyle. And that's by design. Apple makes switching so painful that most people just don't bother. And then there's the innovation. Every year, Apple takes the stage with flashy presentations, dramatic music, and words like revolutionary and groundbreaking. But when you strip away the hype, what do you really get? In 2020, Apple added 5G, a year after Android phones had it. In 2021, they made the notch slightly smaller. Wow. In 2022, they introduced the always-on display. Android had that for years. In 2023, Apple finally adopted USB-C, but not because they wanted to innovate, because the European Union forced them to. Year after year, Apple presents borrowed ideas as if they invented them, and millions of people applaud. Meanwhile, companies like Samsung and Google are pushing real boundaries. Samsung has foldable phones. Google has AI-powered call screening. Xiaomi is experimenting with insanely fast charging that can fully juice a phone in under 20 minutes. Apple, on the other hand, keeps things safe, controlled, and minimal, while still charging you a premium. Speaking of premium, let's face it, the iPhone is ridiculously expensive. The Pro and Pro Max models are priced like laptops, and that's just the phone. Add in AirPods, an Apple Watch, iCloud storage, Apple Music, and suddenly you're spending thousands of dollars just to fully enjoy the ecosystem. And don't forget the little things. $20 for a charging cable, $60 for a case, $300 if you break something. Apple isn't just selling you a device, they're selling you a lifestyle, a very expensive one. But here's the twist. Despite all of this, people still buy it. Because the iPhone isn't just technology, it's a status symbol. It's a piece of fashion. It tells people you're part of the Apple Club, and Apple knows this. That's why they don't need to innovate as aggressively. That's why they can strip out accessories and charge more. Because no matter how much we complain, millions of us will still line up for the next one. So should you buy the new iPhone? If you value design, simplicity, and prestige, maybe it's worth it for you. If you're already deep in the ecosystem, you probably feel like you don't even have a choice. But if you're looking for real value, real innovation, and actual freedom, you should think twice. Because the truth is, Apple's business model isn't about giving you the best tech. It's about keeping you locked in, upgrading every year, and paying more at every step. At the end of the day, the iPhone isn't just a phone. It's a money machine for Apple. And the one funding it? That's you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next breakdown. See you in the next video.